Let's go.
Hi there, I'm Mark from the Recycled Bicycle Co-op, and this is Paul, and we're going to show you how to prep a bike for shipment Bicycles for Humanity. The important thing is handlebars have to be turned so that they're parallel with the bike. Makes it a lot easier to put in the shipping container. The pedals have to come off and the seat has to be lowered. So, the tools that will be very handy, at the very minimum, you'll need an adjustable wrench for doing things. Most of the bolts. This part in here, the top of the stem, is usually done with an Allen bolt. So you get like a hex bolt, and it'll be metric, so you can get something like this in the bike store, or one of these usual things. So that's a 6-sided hex nut in there. That'll be for most of your stems. Sometimes it'll be an adjustable nut, which you can use a 13 or 14 millimeter wrench to undo, like a bolt. You'll also need these to undo the seat. For the pedals, it's a 15 millimeter wrench, but a good pedal wrench will make your life a lot happier. You can get one from somewhere, borrow one from people, whatever, from a bike shop, or get one from an equipment co-op or something. These have the leverage. Sometimes the pedals have been on since the bike was new, and they don't like to come off in a happy way. So, what we're going to do, pass these to my trusty microphone. So, this goes in here. Actually, hold that as well. If you're lucky, that'll come undone with a bit of a squeak and a grind. You don't want to take this bolt all the way out. You want to back it out. It threads into a wedge down there. If you're really lucky, it will now just turn like that. And then you just tighten it back up so it doesn't flop around. If you're really lucky, that's all that needed doing. Sometimes that bolt will back out and the stem still won't turn. If the bolt is coming out if the bolt is coming out like this, give it a rap with a hammer. That will loosen the wedge inside, and then the bolt should be able to turn. Sometimes it doesn't, but we won't talk about those times. Thank you, Nurse Paul. Now, the seat is generally just going to be a bolt like this. Sometimes it might have a quick release like you see on the wheels, but generally that's only on fancier bikes. This is just going to be a standard, and it's going to be rusty like this one. What do we have here? Ooh, we don't have a 13, do we? No. Sometimes these are like really, really rusty, like this one. And if you're unlucky, okay, if the other side is turning, this is where you need your adjustable wrench so you can go and hold the other side. But we loosen this, and sometimes the seat post will go down. I think in the general scheme of things, it's not the end of the world if the seat doesn't go down compared to getting the pedals off and the handlebars turn, but it's desirable. There we go. And you just spin that back and forth, put that down as far as it can. Now lastly, the pedals. So you can use a regular 15 millimeter wrench, but sometimes the space in here is very, very tight. That's why this is a little thinner than most regular 15 mil wrenches. So, there's flat sides to it. So if we're really, really lucky, I just pull on this. Oh yes, these pedals have maybe been off once or twice. And that came off rather nicely. Just turn this a little bit more. No, it's pretty tight through here, so let's use this. And if you're lucky, you can even just take it off. Get your hands in there and take it off by hand. But it's pretty tight, so I'll keep using the wrench. This part's really exciting. And then we'll get that off eventually. Get your hands in there. Maybe bring zip ties. Okay. Now, important thing on the left pedal, this is a very important thing to remember. The left pedal on the left side of the bike as you're looking forward, threads to loosen, counterclockwise tighten. This is to keep the pedals from coming undone while you ride your bike. It's one of two things on the bike that are like that. So the best rule of thumb is that when you're taking your pedals off, on both sides, you push down to the back of the bike. So on this side, you're pushing down going counterclockwise. On this side, you're pushing down going clockwise as I look at it. So if you just remember that, to push down to the back of the bike on both sides, you'll be all right. If we're lucky, oh, now this one's going to give us a bit of grief. There we go. And this is why you need this big long wrench. If it's really problematic, sometimes it can be hard to, this one's going to come off just fine. If you have a lot of trouble getting the pedal off, they generally will come off. And at the bike co-op, we just, they always have to come off. So, what you do, there, and then, we don't have one with us, but if you take a plastic zip tie or a wire or something, thread it through here, clamp it to the frame like that. That'll be, that way the pedals will stay with the bike. Just attach it somehow, maybe not string, but some wire or plastic electrical zip ties or something. I was going to say here, the pedals can sometimes be really tough to get off, so you might want to find some way of stabilizing this arm. You can put like some sort of metal clamp around here, an old toe strap from those old clip pedals where you have the clips and toe straps, an old one like that wrapped around there. That'll keep this from moving while you're tightening there, or as you saw me, I was holding this while I was turning the wrench back. It can sometimes be really difficult to get the pedals off, but if you've got a long enough pedal wrench and even a breaker bar over it, they will come off. It's really hard to break pedals, it's just hard to break them free. That's how you get bikes ready for Africa.